So today, we're going to talk about something that's really shaking up the world of AI. We're moving away from this idea of having one single gigantic model that does everything, and instead, we're moving into the era of the specialized AI dream team, a whole crew of expert models, where each one is an absolute master of its craft. And it's a really good question to ask, right? Because a lot of the time, that's exactly what's happening. We're taking these huge, incredibly powerful, and really expensive AI models and throwing them at tasks that are, frankly, pretty simple. It's just total overkill, and it's super inefficient. And this slide, well, it lays it out perfectly. It's like a tale of two different paths for AI. On one hand, you've got this giant generalist model that costs a fortune to run and can be pretty slow on simple stuff. But on the other hand, you have this nimble, efficient team of specialists, each one built for a specific purpose. The whole system just ends up being cheaper, faster, and honestly, a lot smarter. There's actually a name for this problem, the overthinking crisis. And it could lead to this weird economic thing called the Jevons paradox. The basic idea is that when a technology gets way more efficient, we just end up using it more, sometimes so much more that we actually increase our total consumption. Think about it like this. If your car suddenly gets amazing gas mileage, you might just decide to drive more and you could end up using more gas than you did before. So what do we do about it? Well, the solution is to build that dream team. The whole concept is called the Efficiency-First Framework. We stop relying on one single overworked generalist model. Instead, we put together a team of specialists, and we have another specialized AI called a cognitive controller that acts as the project manager, directing traffic and making sure the right job goes to the right expert. And this quote right here, this is really the golden rule for this whole approach. It's not just about being cheap and grabbing the smallest model you can find. No, it's about being smart. It's about routing every little piece of a big task to the absolute best, most well-trained model for that specific job. The real heroes of this whole story are small language models, or SLMs. But hey, don't let the word small fool you. These aren't weak or underpowered. These are highly trained, super efficient experts. Each one is designed to be world-class at one specific thing, whether it's planning or math or using a piece of software. They are the specialists on our dream team. All right, so let's actually meet the players on this dream team. First up, you've got the architect of the whole operation. We call this one the planner. This is the model that gets the big picture request and starts drawing up the blueprints for how to get it done. So what does the planner actually do? Well, its job is absolutely crucial. It takes a big, messy, complicated request and breaks it down into a clean, logical, step-by-step plan. And to pull that off, it has to be amazing at following instructions and creating a really structured, clear outline for the rest of the team. And the cool thing is, this isn't just some theory. As you can see here, we already have fantastic specialized models that are perfect for this role. I mean, look at Microsoft's Phi 3.5 Mini. For its size, it's an absolute beast at following instructions, which makes it a perfect planner. This proves this whole idea is practical, like right now. Okay, so every great team needs its core problem solvers, right? In our AI team, that's the thinker, the brilliant engineer who crunches the numbers, and the critic, the super meticulous quality inspector who checks all the work. The thinker is your go-to specialist for the really heavy lifting. We're talking complex logic, tough math problems, deep reasoning. Models like DeepSeek R1 get trained using this really clever technique called chain of thought distillation. It's kind of like an apprentice learning by studying the detailed notes of a master, absorbing not just the answer, but the step-by-step process of how to get there. Now, the critic, it's not about being negative or slowing things down. Think of it more like a quality control expert. It's a completely separate, really lightweight model, and its only job is to proofread. It goes through the thinker's work, step by step, and makes sure everything is accurate. It adds this incredible layer of reliability to the whole system. And here you can see how they work together, and it's brilliant. The thinker comes up with a solution, laying out its reasoning. Then the critic comes in right behind it and verifies every single one of those steps. It's this simple, elegant feedback loop that just makes the final answer so much more trustworthy. Okay, so we've got a plan, the logic checks out. Now what? It's time to actually do something. And for that, we bring in the final member of our core team, the action hero. This is the one that really gets things done. This model is basically the bridge between the AI's brain and the digital world. Its entire specialty is using tools, making API calls to book a flight or query a database or operate a piece of software. This is the hands-on builder who turns the plan into reality. And this is where things get really cool. An action model like this doesn't have to be massive. In fact, some of the absolute best models for this job have only about 1 billion parameters. Let me just say that again because it's wild. A tiny 1 billion parameter specialist can actually run circles around a generalist model 7 times its size when it comes to the specific task of using tools. It's just a stunning example of how powerful specialization can be. Okay, let's bring this all together. We've met the planner, the thinker, the critic, and the action hero. Now let's just step back and look at why this whole team-based approach isn't just a neat idea. It's pretty clearly the future of building capable AI. So let's take a real-world example. Plan a trip to Paris. The request comes in to our project manager, the cognitive controller. Instantly, it routes the first job, creating an itinerary, to the planner. Then, the task of calculating the budget goes to the thinker. And finally, the job of actually booking the flights and hotels gets handed off to our action hero. It's like a perfect symphony, with each specialist playing its part. So what's the bottom line? The result is, you get AI systems that are way faster, radically cheaper to operate, more reliable because of all those checks and balances, and a whole lot easier to scale up. But let's be clear, this isn't just about saving a few bucks on compute. This is a fundamental shift in strategy for building smarter, more capable, and just plain better AI. And that leaves us with one last, kind of mind-bending thought. We've just talked about how to build a super effective small team of AIs. But what happens when we scale this up? Really scale it up. If today we're building teams, what's stopping us from building entire organizations of AI specialists tomorrow? What does that future even look like?